Alright, so welcome to the last tutorial. We're gonna make the manufacturables happen. And for that we need, well, some dimensions. For example, okay, so let's remember, what do we need to manufacture? We need to manufacture this. Pretty simple. Actually, yeah, we can do that right now. Um, well, I mean, let me just explain the whole thing. We're gonna print, 3D print this, 3D print this, then we're gonna laser cut these two pieces, and also this third piece. Now, my worry is that they won't fit, this piece won't fit a regular 3D printer. Um, and these two lids won't fit a regular, well, I mean, the laser cutter I have access to. Maybe this will, we can check. But it's simple, we just have to divide it into parts and make it happen. So, no big deal. Let's remember we have to laser cut this one maybe twice as well. I think it's gonna end up really cool, so stay excited, stay with me. This is super simple, this is like the most simple piece so far, so let's just start with that one. File, export, STL. I'm gonna go to Cloud Lamp. I'm gonna create a folder called Manufacturables. Inside this folder, I'm gonna have actually 3D and another folder called 2D. Inside 3D, this piece should be named Cloud Lamp dash socket support. Socket support. Oh, selection only. Don't forget that. Apply modifiers. Export. Good. Done. Simple. Um, all the components right now, we're not gonna need them. The lid and the other part, yeah, but I think we should start with the 3D. I think that's gonna be a bit more complex, and then we can work with the 2D. All right. So casing, that's in. Components. Open up casing. All right. So let's turn off the lighting and the socket holder. And let's work with this one first, which is not gonna be, I mean, it's a bit complex, but not that complex. Let's save. Let's look for the dimensions of the 3D printer. So here we have a Prusa MK3S. Oh, actually, there was the build volume. Build volume. What is the print volume? 250 to 10 to 10. All right, 250 to 10 to 10. Let's start with that. Let's do a reference cube. 250, 210, 210, 250. Oh, that's so good. It's not as big. So maybe we can do it like in 3 parts. I thought it was gonna be bigger. I mean, it is big. Don't get me wrong. But you know what? Something that matters here is how are we gonna print it? Are we gonna print it upwards? I don't think so. Let's picture that we're gonna print it. Let me just get in the no. We're gonna print it this way from here to here. This is gonna be attached to the base. We're gonna add a lot of support probably, but we're gonna keep the outside pretty neat. So for that, we're gonna have to imagine the printer is this way, right? Like that's the height, if that makes any sense. Yeah, it should make sense. So the question is, how many prints are we gonna need for this? So for example, I can only fit, let's start with this side maybe. And actually, like, something you don't want to mess up with is these little parts where the bolts go. And you don't want to leave like these little thingies flying. You want to cut like as much as possible, but leaving like a good, what's the word? So let's just, I'm just gonna do like several, like Shift D in Z, but you know what? Why? So remember I had the local thing on. I'm gonna go to global again because that almost messed me up. Snap. So here the snap is super important. I'm gonna go Shift D in X, make a copy, snap it back to its place, And then for the last one, actually here I can grab these two and I can move them along to have like more. Actually, I think these two could be moved here just to find like a good spot in which I don't mess up with this part, right? But I have a lot of like case area to glue the parts together, if that makes sense. So I think getting too close to the circle makes sense. Yeah. Oh my god. It's gonna be interesting. We're gonna have to have good gluing technique for this. I mean, something we could do that would be super nice is dividing them by the actual like spheres, but it's gonna take so much time, and we need to finish. So let's just go with this. And one last print here. Shift D in X. Connect this here. Bring it down. And now, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I think I could exploit like all of this just a bit more, so they're more equitable, like more distributed. Here I'm almost messing with my, yeah, I messed with it just a bit. So let's go a bit to the side. You don't want to mess with those bold parts. Alright. Alright, I think we're good. I think we are good. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of those things. Great. So we're gonna make copies. This is gonna be called 0.001. I'm doing this because when I duplicate it, now automatically looks for the 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now with the 1, I'm gonna start from left to right. This is cube 5. Actually, no, I should start with this one right here, which is called cube 2, cube 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so this is cube 1. I'm gonna start here better. So 1 can go with 1 and so forth. So 1, I'm gonna do a Boolean intersect with cube 1. Wait, what? Fast. Oh, there it is. Now if I isolate it, that's what we want. So if it doesn't work, just make sure you change these two. Maybe that's the issue. All right, so we got the first piece. Number 2, Boolean intersect cube 2. Didn't work. Fast. There it is. We isolated. Yep, that's precisely what we need. Awesome. Number 3, let me go out of isolate mode. Boolean cube 3. Oh, intersect. So in this case, it didn't need it to do what I did. So let's see. You just have to give it a look just to make sure it's properly cut. Awesome. I'm getting excited. I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting really excited. I think this is gonna end up really well. I really hope so. All right. Number 4, Boolean intersect 4. Oh, I need to get out of here. Looks like good. Awesome. With the holes and everything, good. And then I'm gonna go with number 5. Get out of isolation mode. Add a Boolean modifier. Number 5. Intersect see it. That looks good. Awesome. All right, good. Okay, that was not that hard. Now I can, all these cubes should go into references. Okay, good. Look at that, all the pieces. Ain't that cool? I think we're gonna push the limits of the printer. But hey, that's what they're for, right? All right. So let's export it from left to right. File, export, STL, cloud lamp, part 1. Selection only, apply modifiers, good. File, export, STL, cloud part 2. File, export, STL, cloud part 3. File, export, STL, cloud part 4. And file, export, STL, cloud part 5. All right, good. Almost there, people. Almost there. Now, something we're missing are the laser cuttables. And for that, so we can just get rid of all of this. Laser cuttables are going to be the lighting 2 times, or once, or twice. Oh, maybe twice will look good, or once. I don't know. And these 2 caselets, which are different. Actually, the name I don't like it that much. This should be caselet outer, and this should be inner. All right. So this one right here. So first we have to check if we can cut it in one piece. Now, the acrylic that I found, you know, the measurement of that one. Oh my God, I don't have my. Oh, here it is. I do have it. It's well, first of all, it's 1/8 of an inch, which we already talked about. But it's almost 20, so it's 19 7/8. And so you know what? I'm gonna do it with centimeters. This is crazy. 50.5 and 30. 50.5 and 30. 50.5 and 30. So here in references, we're gonna turn these. Well, no, I don't need it to turn it on. Shift A, mesh cube. We set 50.5 millimeters. Centimeters, which translate into 505 millimeters, and 30. So 300, and that's the reference for the laser cutter. And so we have this shape, which is gonna be the laser cutter dimensions, and I'm thinking that it's gonna be enough for our pieces, so that's good. Let's see if that's the case. Rotate X 90. Let's see it from the front, and if I put it, oh yeah, so good. So, being that the case, it's gonna be so simple just to generate the files, and as you can see, the light bulb as well. So that's good. Now let's generate the files. So let's start with the inner one. I'm gonna isolate it. I'm gonna get into, all right, so there's some booleans in there. So what we need to do is pretty much make a copy. You know what? Something that, yeah, let's make a copy of it. Shift D. Then let's apply all the booleans. This is gonna be Let's use a code BA, Booleans applied. And in order to apply all the booleans, you can hit here, apply, but that's gonna take too long. So you can do Shift C, no, Option C, and then convert to mesh. That applies all the booleans like fast and easy. And then now if I go in, I can see all the booleans are applied. Now we only need one side of this. As you can see, it's already selected. I don't know why. If it's not selected for you, you can just click on the faces, all the faces in one side, like this. And you could do Control I to select everything else beside what you had selected, and you can delete it. X faces, and now, as you can see, I already have like one face, and that's really cool. That's what we need. So let's call, instead of BA, let's call it now flat. All right, now let's get back to it. Let's grab the outer one. Let's make a copy. Let's rename it to outer flat. And now this one, same thing. Oh, I'm going to apply all the booleans with Option C, convert to mesh. I'm gonna do Control I to select everything besides what I already had selected. Then I'm gonna delete faces, and I stay with this. Good. This cube, the one that I originally used for measuring this stuff, should go to references, but the name should be changed to laser cut reference. Yeah, I'm gonna move it, move to references. All right, now I have two flats here. I have these two flats, 1 and 2, and something you should do now is do File, Export, Paper Model. Now this is gonna help us translate an STL file into a PDF flat file, which is gonna be good for laser cutting. Now, if you don't have these enabled, Paper Model, you're gonna have to go to Edit, Preferences, Add-ons, and then you look here for Paper Model, and you have to click on this checkbox that says Import, Export, Export Paper Model. And then you close this. I already have it, so I'm gonna go here to Paper, Unfold, Clear Seams, Export Paper Model, Automatic Scale, 1:1, Limit and Island Aisle. I actually user defined. We said it was 50.505 meters. Yeah, why not? And I think, well, I'm using meters here, but that's because that's the unit that I'm using here, which actually translates into millimeters. And then here it was 300. All right. So if I do that, and the scale is 1:1, it should work. So I'm gonna go Export Paper Model, open this up. It says, hey, the largest island is 1:1. But the scale, it moved. I don't know why. So what if I try 1000 here? 2 times bigger. No, then it should be 100. 22. Then it should be 10. No. 1. No. 1 to 1000. Maybe I'm missing 2 zeros. Maybe you. I'm experimenting here, as you can see. You know what? Let me just cancel this. Let me limit this island size. I usually don't do this. I just go to File, Export, Paper Model, and I don't know why, PDF. Let's do user defined. Actually, I'm doing the same thing. Let's do the 505 and then the 300, and now it should be like half, or it should fit in. That's the whole point. We tried it and it fit it in. So I'm gonna try 1,000. One. Oh, okay. So I think this is good. No, one. No, this is not good. 100 maybe. So that's too small. So how about one? One. Eh, I think that's good. Yeah, one. So I use PDF, user defined, um, these two things, the measurement of the acrylic, and it's 1:1, the ratio. I'm gonna go to Manufacturables. I'm gonna go to 2D, and I'm gonna do. What am I exporting now? Is it the inner or the outer? Yikes! Forgot. No. Um, I think it's the inner. I hope it's the inner. Export. Export. Yeah, it was the inner. All right, good. Was it? Okay, let's check. In order to check, you can open. Um, you can check the file pretty much. So I'm gonna go to Cloud Lamp, Manufacturables, 2D, inner. So nothing saved, as you can see. 5 kilobytes of information. That's not like enough. And as you can see, it's yeah, there's nothing here. So my bad was that I was in edit mode and I didn't select it. So well, let's do it again. I should be in object mode, selecting it, file, export, paper model, 1:1, PDF, Manufacturables, 2D. Let's replace this one. Export paper model. All right, let's check it out again. Still nothing. The dimensions of this page are out of range. Content may be truncated. That's interesting. Oh, I have to save it. Usually that has happened to me before. If you don't save it before, it doesn't work. So let's see if that works now. File, export, paper model, Manufacturables, 2D, inner, 1:1, PDF, blah blah, export. See if that works. Oh, it's not working. That's weird. Clear all seams, unfold. Let's see if that works. What if I go to here, hit A, save, file, export, paper model, Manufacturables, 2D. Let's change the name. Let's take out this blend stuff. Create tabs, create numbers. Actually, I don't need these tabs and these numbers. Texture, no texture. Let's export it. Let's see if that helped. Still is empty. That's not good. All right, I'm gonna check this out. All right, so I got it to work, and the thing is the following. Something you have to do, and this is, I think, the first time that it has happened to me, but just to make sure. So if by any chance any add-on from Blender is not working, you can check the Blender documentation, docs.blender.org, and I was reading about it, and something, I mean, we're making something flat become flat, so it shouldn't be an issue, but apparently there's an issue. And the issue is that you have to mark the seams of the mesh. In this case, I went in and I selected all the outer edges, and I clicked mark seam to let Blender know that that's like the outermost part, which I think is obvious, but not for Blender. So anyway, I had to do that. I'm gonna do it in the next one as well. And then I went out and did file, export, um, paper model, and in here, I want to maintain this relationship in decimal numbers. I mean, with decimal, I mean like 1 to 10, 1 to 100. Um, that way it's going to be easier to correct anything if later is needed. So if I do 1 to 10, 2D inner, and I export it, and I go back to Blender, I mean, I open the PDF, I can see part of it, right? Which doesn't make sense to me because still it said it was um, 1, 1, 1 over 1.2. So just to make Blender happy and for me to get something out of this, I want to change it to 1 to 100. And then I'm going to correct it as needed. So I'm going to go to Manufacturables, 2D. I'm going to replace this one. I'm going to go here. I'm going to open it up, and you're going to see it's small, right? But I'm pretty sure this is what we need. In order to make sure that's the case, I mean, we already exported it. That's the most important part. We already transformed a 3D mesh into a 2D drawing. Now I'm going to open it up with Illustrator, and this is the part where we're going to make sure everything works for our purposes. So first of all, I'm going to go to File, Document Setup, Edit Artboards, and this artboard should be 505 millimeters, and height should be 300 millimeters. So that should be the artboard, right? I'm gonna exit, and then here I have this super big drawing of the cloud, which actually, as you can see, is missing some of the circles. Oh, there they are. I had to select all of it. My bad. So that's good. Now I'm going to scale it until it fits in, but I'm going to scale it up in multiples of 10. So I'm going to go to Object, Transform, Scale, Uniform Scaling, and I'm going to transform it to 10%. Actually, I think that should be it. Just to make sure, something that I like to do is look for a reference line or something that guides me. So I'm going to try to make this straight line as horizontal as possible so that can be my reference. I'm going to go to Blender. I'm going to use my ruler, and I'm going to, oh, here's a ruler. All right, Control, I'm going to snap it here, 121, so 12.1 centimeters. So if I go to Illustrator and I draw a 12.1, oh look, I'm so good, check that out, 121 millimeters. All right, here we go. My computer is kind of freezing. So if I put it next to it, it should pretty much match up, which it does. So yes, that's the proper scaling that we need, which I don't even remember what was it. But this is already good to be sent to cut. Well, not really. Something that I'm missing is, I hope I didn't move any circle from, something I should have done. All right, let's start from scratch. I don't wanna save it. Don't save. I'm gonna have to go File. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna delete this one. I don't need it. Move to trash. All right, let's do this quickly. Open with Illustrator. There we go. I'm just worried that I moved the circle from it. All right, so first of all, edit artboards. Let's do with 505 millimeters and 300 millimeters. That's good. I'm gonna select the whole thing, which I didn't do. Let's do it again. Make sure you select all of it, right click, group. That way nothing's gonna like move position. Now, select it again, just to make sure. Object, transform, scale, 10%. Okay. Put it here. 12, 121, and then I'm gonna put it around here, just rotate it a bit, kind of like that, and yep, that's pretty much good. And now select the whole thing again. Stroke, we have to do 0.001 inches so we can send it to cut. Stroke should be red, 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 red. We can double click here and make sure it's 255 in RGB in the R. Good. And so this is now ready to be cut. Command S. Awesome. Let's do the other one. Let's go. Let's not see this one. Let's not see the rulers actually. Oh, I cannot do that. All right, so I'm just gonna delete the rulers. Oh, X. There we go. I don't know why. Oh, there it is. Okay, good. Now let's see the outer one. Outer one flat. That's the one. Now I'm gonna show you what I did that I couldn't show you in the past one. So I'm Shift Alt selecting all the outer edges. Ta-dun, 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 ta-dun. So you just make sure it's all the outer edges. Then here we do mark seam. You're gonna see this go orange. Save your file, go to object mode, file, export, paper model. 1 to 10 PDF user, yeah, whatever. It's not gonna be right anyway, so we just want to make sure this is a 10 multiple scaling ratio. And then we change the name to cloud lamp outer export. Awesome. All right, we're working on this, so let's just finish it up. So let's go to the thunder lighting thing. Here it is. Let's do this one. Let's we already have selected this face, so let's do Shift D, make a copy, escape, P, selection. So now we have only this face right here. I'm gonna isolate it. I'm gonna select all the outer lines. And now we're gonna do mark seam, just like we did before. Go to object mode, save file, file, export, paper model, Manufacturables, 2D, cloud lamp, lighting, PDF, 1 to 10 we said. Good. Export. Okay, we should be all good with this. Let's call this lighting flat. Oh, lighting flat. There we go. Alright, so this is all good. Blender's good. I don't think we're gonna need it anymore. Let's just make sure. Let's go File, Open, and let's open the ones that we're missing. Desktop, tutorials, cloud lamp, Manufacturables, 2D. We're missing the outer and the lighting. Let's open up those files. Open. We're almost done. Outer. If I zoom out, I can see part of it. File. Well, let's edit the artboard. Actually, I think I messed it up. Okay, I think we can make it happen anyway. I didn't do the 100, whatever. 505. 300. Let's zoom out as much as possible. No, I don't think it's gonna work. I cannot zoom bigger than this. Alright, so this is not gonna work. Let's delete this one. And the lighting, I think it's gonna be the same. Oh no, my bad. Alright, let's do it again. Boom. So my bad was doing file, export, paper model, 1 to 100. That's the change. Lighting, export. And now let's go with the outer. Is the one. File, export. No, not STL. File, export, paper model. 100. Manufacturables, 2D, outer. Export. All right. Save. File. Open. Come on. Outer lighting. Open. All right. Oh, I'm zooming in. Oh, there we go. All right. Edit artboards. 505. 300. There we go. Now the lighting. It's there. First we got to scale it. Scale 10%. Okay. And one way to know this is the actual size would be making a rectangle of 121 millimeters, and as you can see, it's pretty much the same. So yes, that's good. And so for this, I need 2 of these, so I can rotate it, make it fit correctly, do a second one, maybe even, oh, never scale it. I think, actually I'm worried that it's not gonna work anymore, so I'm gonna delete it. Alright, my computer is suffering right now. So yeah, I'm gonna rotate this one, kind of like that, just to try to make the most out of the space I have. Yeah, I think that's good. Alright, awesome. So I'm gonna select this whole thing, change the stroke to 0.001 inches. 0.001 points, no, inches. Great. I'm gonna save this one. This is ready to be cut. And now let's work on the last one. Almost done. Edit artboards. 505. 300. Select the whole thing. My bad. Make sure you select actually the whole thing, because there are some circles that make you don't want them to move around at all. Right click on it. Group. Object. Transform. Scale. 10%. Okay. Put it inside. You can trust it works, or you can be not trustful and do the real rectangle test. Just like that. 121. Yeah, makes sense. Now select the whole thing. Stroke 0.001 inches. Delete the points. There we go. Command S, saved. Command S, saved. We can close them out now. Command S just to make sure. And now, so now we know we're gonna need 3 sheets of acrylic and a lot of plastic to print our lamp. Well, not a lot of plastic, but a lot of time, definitely. And you know what? Also a lot of plastic, because we're gonna be using support. So yeah, this is the end result. You have 3 2D files, and you're gonna cut them in 1/8 thickness acrylic, and you end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 STLs, which you're gonna print in plastic, and that's it. That's everything you need for your project. Great job if you reached this far.